morning. So, this video is being addressed to the gun control advocates. And it's not going to have a lot of statistics. There are plenty of videos that do that. There's not going to be any pros and cons, and this is the reason why you have to see, how about plenty of videos. Yeah, click here if you want to see that video. No. There's videos across the spectrum. If you want to see those, go see those. Not going to be here. This is basically going to be an open letter to try and help to the gun control advocates and try and maybe help to explain how you have such huge hurdles, but honestly, I don't see how they'll ever get passed. So, the biggest one I see is that guns in the American culture and society is so well ingrained in the substrate. I don't see how you're going to be able to remove that. You didn't have that in England and Australia, so that when they had their gun buybacks and other things, it didn't impact them the same way. Yeah, you have a gun back programs here, but you're never going to, there's like, I think the quote is 300 million guns. I don't see how you're going to be able to buy back all those guns. I just don't see that. There's like 300 million Americans, give or take. 320 million Americans, if I recall the number. They would be like convincing each and every one of them to line up in single file and then walk into the Pacific Ocean and swim to Japan. That's a ridiculous concept. Well, are these people that are going to say, it's ridiculous that you're going to tell me to get rid of my guns? So, you have Hollywood, even though they are pretty much now run by the left, still produce movies that have guns in them. Yeah. So I don't believe that you're going to be able to convince Americans that, oh no, you don't need this. No, you just, we'll pass a law. So we're only going to be saying you can't have that. All those others. Here's the thing. There are plenty of people on your side of the aisle that have let the cat out of the bag. Yeah. For example, there's a big quote from Janet Rito, and I'm not going to get it right. Again, you can look it up. That gun control is the mechanism they're going to use for total gun confiscation. So when you're trying to say, oh no, we're only gonna get, it's only gonna be targeted, only gonna get rid of this, all those others, no one's believing you. When the whole idea is we want to get rid of all of them. See, the thing is, in the 90s, we had gun bans for specifically just this, and we were told just this, and everything will be fine. Well, why are we having another round of we have to get rid of this? If those worked, there wouldn't be any problems over here. But now we need these more over here. But no, we needed now this. These are now the problems. Well, then how is anybody going to trust that? Now you're not going to be needing against these next month, and next year it's these, and then, unless the whole point is step by step to get all of them. And nobody's believing that. With good reason, I think. Because, as I said, there are people who have said the outright confiscation of all of them is the main goal. And, as I said, they're not going to believe you. They're not going to say, oh, well, we'll just go with these 5 steps and nothing more. coming for all of them, and they're not going to do that. So, what we'll do is we'll pass a law. We'll make certain that all of them, you will have no right. Well, what is their biggest argument that they have? The highest hurdle that you have is that they say that they must have their guns. They must have their guns to protect themselves against a tyrannical government that, and you're going to pass a law that's going to confiscate their property. Isn't that what? Aren't you making their point for them? Aren't you creating the boogeyman that you say that doesn't exist? Explain that to me. We are going to reason with them by explaining to them how it's such a great idea to do this, that surely they'll see the error of their ways and come yeah, that worked a lot for Obamacare. Tell me how that ends. Yeah, how does that end? I mean, that was supposed to insure everybody, but still have millions of Americans that don't have insurance still. And so, even if you can snap your fingers, make a wish, pass the law in the dead of night so nobody knows, and tomorrow you start confiscating all of them. We're going to take this, we're going to take this, we're going to take this, we're going to take this. There are 300 million guns. I'll give you maximum a month that you are able to go and take all of these. I mean, yeah, you could couch it as a buyback. But you know what? Mabel and I, we're not going to sell our guns. We need our guns. No, we're confiscating them. We'll give money to compensate for you because, you know, we don't want to steal your property. That would be bad. No, I'm keeping my gun. You can't have it. No, we're taking it. Ha! What are you going to do about that? Okay. There's still 2,999,999 guns to go. You think maybe word might leak and the other owners that have all these guns might say, yeah, come. We're ready for you. Yeah, come take it. How exactly are you? Like I said, I'll give you a month at most before open civil war number 2 starts out. And that's just assuming that you're going to get either the police or the military who still believe in the Second Amendment out of it and replace them with people who agree with you. That you're going to get a large functioning force to go ahead into these people's homes. Yeah, I'm going to give you at maximum. I don't think it'll last a week. But I'm giving you a month. Yeah, I can't see how that's not going to end badly. No, not at all. Remember that whole idea that I had about walking to swimming to Japan? Yeah, that's the reason why that I suggested that. The Herculean effort that you're going to have to take to actually succeed in this, I don't see. Pardon me. So, Americans, though, they do want to solve problems. We could put a man on the moon, but we can't get... Okay, we're working with you. But the problem that you're having and hence the video. You're coming across as my way or the highway. And we're just, people are just going to say, screw you. We have the law, we have the Constitution on our side. You're coming across as children having temper tantrums. You get your way or else. And you know what? A lot of people are tired of that. A lot of people are saying, no, we got Trump because of that. You like him or you hate him or everything in between. The attitude that you guys are doing is a symptom of, is the result of this, which is a symptom of this. Now, I am not suggesting you change your tactics. No, I'm not suggesting that because, like I said, a lot of people are seeing the tactics and have seen the tactics in the past. And quite frankly, a lot of them are going to move towards this way, which we've seen the end of that movie. We know how it ends. It was not liked well on Rotten Tomatoes. So, yeah, good luck with that. The smart play, and this is what I'm offering to you, is to get behind programs like Project Exile. I rob a bank. And let's say I get 10 years for that, but because I used a gun, I get an additional 5 years on top of that. If I come in there with, hey, give me your money. Yeah, go ahead. Here's a few $100. Go ahead and get some, Oh, yeah. But now you got a gun, an extra 5 years added to that. Something like that. Hey, we trust you that you are a responsible gun owner. You use a gun, we'll smack you. That's a simple compromise. We're not going to do this, but we do suggest that, okay, let's work together and create a solution to the problem. You were saying there's a problem. We can see there's a problem. Let's try and work with it. Okay, let's try this. No, we must take all this. No. We're going to just ignore you then. And that's what's happening. You're being ignored. You're being mocked. You're being laughed at. You are being, dismissed. You see a problem. You are trying to express the importance of that. I get that. But you are acting like your hair is on fire and wondering why nobody else's hair is on fire. Because it's nobody else's hair is on fire. That's why. And setting their hair on fire is not the solution. If you create law in a panic, it's always going to be bad law. You have to take a breath. Work towards a compromise. Work towards a solution. Not create more problems by all of this. It'll always end badly. So, try and work with people. Try and explain your point of view. Try and stop with the hysterics. And actually solve the problem. And let me explain something to you. The problem is not the guns. The problem is that there's violence in a human heart. And you'll never, ever be able to exercise that. That's unfortunately legacy of our barbarian heritage for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. I mean, there are 300 million guns. If they were that bad, there would be open violence in every street. Bullets going in every direction. The fact that there isn't kind of tells me something. Doesn't it tell you? The problem is not the guns. It never was about the guns. It's about taking responsibility for the property that you have, whether it be a gun, whether it be a car, whether it be any device that I can use to harm another human being. We have to get the culture to where it reveres the human life, that using guns isn't necessary. You're never going to be able to extinguish that violence out of that person. I mean, everybody has it. Everybody's got it. And, it's something that, we try not to use. But we have our outlets just to deal with it. We have therapy. We have video games where we can go ahead and, I'm going to kill this guy, I'm going to kill this guy. Yeah, you actually want to go to the gun range? Why would I want to do that? There are movies and television programs. There's lots of ways that we could release the little demon out just a bit. Some have self-medication. But you got to work on the culture that is creating these little monsters that are actually doing these things. That's what some of these people that are on this side that are saying, yeah, that's where the problem is. I mean, you had the one where you had shot up. He had, I live in Arizona. You had the one that shot up the congresswoman in Tucson. It was known that he had a lot of mental issues. The one that shot up the Parkland High School. A lot of issues. Why was not that addressed? Why was not people that stepped in and said, no, you can't do that? But then you have civil liberty unions that say you can't do that. And again, you have to get together. You have to try and compromise. You have to talk. You have to listen to the other side. Not always agree. Screw that noise. This is America. We don't have to agree with everything. We don't have a national drink. Buy state cola. That's all there is. We don't have a national definition of art. We don't have a national definition of a song. We don't have one sports team. We agree. We disagree. We argue. We're Americans. Bleep you. But you gotta come together. There's a problem. We need to solve it. Here's the solution. Okay. Here's the reasons why we can't do that. Here's the reason why we can. Okay. But let me explain something though. Confiscation of guns is not the answer. It's not going to happen. As I said, might as well have everybody swim to Japan. Alright? Anyway, I'm hoping this helps. This is heartfelt. I'm trying to help you. Maybe it'll do some good, maybe not. I don't know. But I do thank you for listening. And I hope that, you haven't thought of an ending. I have a really big finger going to the stop recording button.